Good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday, February 22nd. It is day 8 post-op. I did not end up doing a day 7 video, but consider this my sort of 1 week wrap up. After this, I'm going to go to every only few days because I just don't think there'll be that many big changes day to day. Maybe I'll do them after each one of my PT sessions, after I have a doctor's visit. All right, so end of week 1, where am I? Pain is under control, which is good. Definitely still having some spikes. When I do my exercises, absolutely have spikes. Don't let anybody kid you. The exercises, they fucking hurt. Trying to push through the range of motion, even just trying to get a few extra degrees of range, trying to just let your leg dangle when you've got only 60 or 65 degrees. I get done with them and then I have to lay down for like 30 to 45 minutes in ice. That happened this afternoon. But overall, I'm actually making some progress. I'm moving around the house. I'm up and down, 4 or 5 times a day, making short walks. Definitely feeling better than I was a few days ago. One of the things I've been thinking about this first week compared to my expectations was looking at some other people's videos. And I know everybody has a totally different experience, but I saw some where there were folks that were my age, maybe even a little bit older, mid-50s, early 60s, who within some of them 3 days were off a walker and showing they could be walking around the house just fine. Now, there are others at the other end of the spectrum that were there was one story I saw where a guy was in the hospital for 2 weeks because he'd had an infection. And so I think that it is really just anything and everything in between. So going in, don't have any huge expectations. You may do great, you may do okay, which is where I kind of think I am, and you may not do so well after your first week or two. I don't think I'll get to 110 degrees and 0 by the time I see my doctor on Thursday. I was talking to PT yesterday, and he said that a reasonable goal might be more like 90 degrees and maybe 5 to 8. But again, we'll see. And he said, it's not the end of the world if I'm not there. It's swelling, it's time. I've just still got a big, huge chunk of swelling right above my kneecap. So you can see that my VMO, the base of my quad, you just can't even see it. It looks like a cantaloupe down there. Now, yesterday I did take all the dressing off. The wound looks great. I've been letting it dry out totally today. No infections, no swelling around it, no redness. It looks just like a big scar. And it's just going to take a while to heal, but it's doing really well. I think, as I think back on my choices of doing the cemented or the cementless, I decided to go cementless. And I remember talking to my surgeon, and he said, there's trade-offs. That the cemented is the total gold standard of care today. The good news with it is you put it on, they glue them in place, and it's rock solid from the beginning. Said that the cementless, they do a press fit, it goes into the bone. He said those things really, they do get in there really hard. He said you could literally grab it and be pulling on it and it's not going to come off after they put it on and press fit it. But he did say a lot of people do have a rougher first part of the recovery. And I think that's part of what I'm dealing with right now. I'm hoping that in the medium to long term that my choice was a good one. The reason I ended up going that direction was that some of the research that I read said that if you look at sort of the quality of life scores and sort of the naturalness feeling scores, that the cementless had a slightly higher score on average, but not every study showed exactly the same thing. I made a call and I talked to him, and he said for a younger person without bone density problems, if you want to go that route, let's do it. He said he's had a lot of success with them. And so I decided to go that way. All right, so where am I going to go from here? My next few days are just continuing to do ice compression, elevation, 2-a-day exercises, really work on both the flexion and the extension. Don't worry about strengthening yet. Don't overdo it. Don't have another setback. I see my PT on Monday, I see him on Wednesday, and then I see the doctor on Thursday. The last thing I was going to do was take a video of my knee to show you how the knee and the leg are looking today on day 8. And again, I'll see you in a couple days after this. All right, so left leg, full extension. You can see right here that I've actually got a VMO, and I can do a quad set. On the right, you'll notice here, this big giant batch of swelling, which is really keeping me from doing anything. You can see I can just now start to get, I'm pushing down. You can see a tiny bit of activation, which I didn't have 2 days ago, and I'm really happy with that. The bruising that I was talking about, it is going all the way up and down my leg now. Bottom of the leg. Over here, it's looking pretty ugly. But the scar itself is actually looking pretty good. It's looking very, very clean. But bruising all the way down, those are the 2 bottom holes where they put in the guides. Over on this side, more bruising over here. And then I also do have, I'm not sure if you can see it here, but yeah, there we go. Bruising up on my hip.